All right, awesome game of resiliency. The group kind of sticking together. I think it's a good example of not every game's going to be perfect. There's going to be highs and lows, and for our guys to stick together, that's a beautiful formula for a comeback win like that. So all three phases contributed.
Could you talk about what Tyler did in those last two drives? Obviously, it's big at that point, and we just absolutely.
Yeah, just phenomenal performance. When your best is needed, he showed up, and so obviously he made some big time plays. I thought from a pass game perspective, those last couple drives, I thought receivers were dialed. Vele goes down, and Kevin pops in there and makes some plays, and so I thought it was big time.
Did you feel more dialed in and calling plays in that time when it's going fast like that?
I just felt like our guys executed really well. Positive gains allow you to play with some tempo and some urgency, and I thought our guys executed really well in those situations.
What is it about his personality, young player, in those situations, like hard downs, hard situations, like he's just kind of, it seems like he's at his best.
Tyler? Yeah. I think just his steadiness. His steadiness is really special. I think it's really important to play the quarterback position in this league. There's a lot of hard downs, and so you're not going to convert every single one of them. Your ability to kind of go from one to the next and take advantage of the opportunities presented. Again, he made some big time plays in this game.
How was Tyler growing in these last moments?
Yeah, I think just executing at a really high level and understanding the situational aspect. There was a lot of situational plays that came up towards the end of this game, and so for him to execute at that high of a level, I thought credit to him and really the entire offense and defense with the big time stop. Obviously, special teams executing and Charlie finishing it off the way that it was.
Going into that
Sorry.
that game time drive, Chris had one catch for 7 yards.
Yeah.
It seemed like it just really came to life there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just really steady. I think credit to him. Games take different flows. His ability to kind of stay right in it, be ready to go, and opportunities will come their way. It's kind of a cycle. It felt like, Vay made a bunch of plays early. Then CO kind of came alive. Kevin hopped in there and made some plays. Tip got some plays involved. I thought it was just all those guys were executing really well, and I think it shows, Tyler's just trusting the progression. Whoever's open, and playing the play.
What did you learn about the football team these back-to-back games?
Yeah, it's just been awesome. Resiliency for our guys. Obviously the season, we're not going to be able to go to the playoffs this year, but we are building something really special, doing it the right way. Every single guy in that locker room, the way they prepare and compete and stay together through each and every experience. The last 2 weeks have been an awesome example of these guys.
Could you describe, Charlie, what you saw in him before the kick and then what you saw in him after? I'm talking about the game win.
Yeah, I didn't bother him. I just stayed away from him. So let him do his deal. He's ready to go. I think this team has so much confidence in him, and I think the juice and energy that provides. The guys have a lot of confidence when he goes out there, and guys are fired up for him. And for him to make that kick, execute at that high of a level, the celebration in the locker room when you see it with Charlie and the team. This team loves that guy, so it was awesome.
What was the plan on that? Keep at the very end. I think there was 12 seconds left.
Yeah.
Not the spiker.
Yeah, so we felt like it was going to be as tight as it possibly could. We were at a 66-yarder at the time. We could take that. It's a long one for Charlie. I felt like 5 more yards would be huge. We just had to make sure everyone was on the same page, dialed on that whole operation. Something you work, each and every week and go through these situations. And so, felt like we needed a couple more yards just to put ourselves in an even better position for Charlie.
Can you just take us through? I mean, you've got a couple wins now on the season, but your first one here like that, with that kind of a last-minute game-winning sprint. What was the emotion like for you?
Yeah, it's just awesome. I thought the dome came to life. Obviously, I thought that was a really cool example of as that game went on and we kind of caught a little bit of confidence, caught a little momentum. I felt like the crowd got into it late in the game. It was awesome. It was an awesome atmosphere for our guys to kind of rally together with, and I think it's a good example of what our team's building.
Tyler went to the injury tent midway through the fourth quarter after taking that hit. Were they checking for an injury, or was that like a concussion?
There was one time where they checked, but he was okay, and so obviously he was fine.
I was wondering if he came out of that tent. It kind of seems like he was on a mission when y'all were about to go back out on offense before the game-tying drive. Did you have to check in with him at all, like ask if he was okay? Or?
They communicated well with me. I think I knew he was ready to roll.
It's strange that they have like a couple different instances where he's doing the right thing, he's sliding, and still kind of thinking that's something else.
Yeah, obviously, those are challenging positions for defenders as well, with quarterback sliding, and so understand that component. I thought Tyler did a good job of getting the yards he could, getting down. Obviously, the penalties occurred, and obviously there was a benefit, towards us because of that.
What did you see from Chase Young's kind kind of in that drive where he had the sack and then he chased down Bryce Young, just.
Yeah, just effort and resiliency. Not everything's perfect on film. We're going to have plenty of things to correct as a team. And so, but I thought for Chase's, just keep going for it, keep going for it. And eventually, he has those big moments late in that game.
Keep coming up in those 4-1 scouts. Feels like every week there's at least one.
Yeah.
And what does that say about your defense?
Yeah, it's just incredible. Our guys, I think it's confidence building. When a lot of times, you get to a 4th and 1 and those are challenging situations. And, I think our team has so much confidence that we're making these stops each and every opportunity that we have. And so, it's obviously been a huge impact on a number of these wins for us.
Tom, since you got here, you said build it the right way. You said it again today. Like, what constitutes building it the right way?
I think just getting the right people, just building this thing around really, really good people who are connected like no other, that compete each and every week, each and every circumstance, no matter what it is. I think it's credit to our guys. The last 2 weeks, to respond coming out of, that Atlanta game and coming back and responding the way that we have the last 2 weeks, I think is just credit to the people that we have in the locker room and their connection, but also their willingness and effort to continue to get better and take advantage of each opportunity.
And how important is it to kind of have this momentum as you go into next year and get some stuff going forward?
Yeah, I think we've talked about December football is really, really important football. And, ours taking a slightly different path this year, but we got to create habits right now that, we play meaningful games in December. We create these big time opportunities for us. And, for these last couple games to be division games, these are teams that we're going to play a couple times every year for the rest of the time. And so, these are going to be meaningful games that will impact the future as well.
Good to break the seal on the challenge.
Yeah, finally. Yeah, I finally got one. So felt like I was going to go for the year. So, we're close.
There was a lot of rookie best stuff up in this game. Obviously, Tyler, Devin, you had Quincy. Can you just talk about the progression of this rookie class?
Yeah, just an awesome class. A bunch of guys that are getting better each and every opportunity. They're playing all their different roles, and I think that's the beauty of this team is, when these guys have opportunities, they're ready, they're dialed, they have all the confidence in the world, and they go out there and execute at a really high level.
I know you said you would have been okay with Charlie at 66. Was there like a mark pregame where you were like, okay, this is our...
We were kind of right around that range right there. So, those are long field goals, obviously. You can look up the percentages of those. We felt like getting a couple extra yards, obviously, was going to be very beneficial for that.
What do you think about Charlie winning his time and the opportunity to step
I think just a good example of a ton of things. The international program, practice squad development, guys that are continuing to learn and grow each and every opportunity. I think it's just a perfect example of what our league loves to represent is opportunities for people from all across the world now. And Charlie's taking advantage of that.
Do you have any updates on the guys who left the game with injury?
Yeah, we had a few guys left the game, so obviously we'll get the full update tomorrow with the medical thing with Devin, Vay, Caesar. Those 3 guys obviously weren't able to come back, and so we'll have to get clarification tomorrow.
So with Devin going out, how do you like what you saw from Evan Holland?
I thought they took advantage of their opportunity. Big time plays in the run game and the pass game. I thought there was a couple screens in there. Those guys did an awesome job of getting vertical and getting a bunch of yards out of those, and those are critical.